Panic and anxiety have to be the two most uncomfortable feelings anyone can experience. It used to be that we felt panic and anxiety overall when we were going through a really difficult time, but it's become an epidemic that the majority of people, at least in the United States of America, over the past several years, are suffering from either panic, anxiety, or both. And if you've ever experienced either of those, you know how debilitating and overwhelming it can be. There are so many ways that you and I can find to manage the panic and anxiety that we feel. Sometimes the way we handle it is very successful, and sadly, at other times, the panic and anxiety seems to overwhelm us. But today, I'd like to share with you why it is that so many of us are suffering through feelings of panic and anxiety, or even depression and general sadness. It seems simple enough for us to focus on feeling better when we don't have panic, anxiety, depression, or sadness affecting us. Then wouldn't life just be better in and of itself? And of course, we all want to feel better and be happy and fulfilled in our lives. But therein, my sweet friend, lies the crux of the problem. The panic, anxiety, sadness, and depression are actually symptoms of something that's gone wrong within each one of us spiritually and on a soul level. Now please, before you may feel offended or your feelings hurt, allow me to explain. I did not say any of this is your fault. As a matter of fact, it is not your fault. And above all, there are things that you can do so that you no longer suffer. This may seem unrelated, but just bear with me, please. If I ask you to write down what it is you really want out of life, how you would like to live, what you'd like to choose at a livelihood, what region of the country you'd like to live in, or maybe in a completely different country, what is it that you truly want? If you just pause the recording for a moment and write this down, that would be lovely, because we're going to find out right now, today, why you are suffering as you are and how you can begin to live a life that's fulfilling. Now I'm going to ask you to write in a second column what your life constitutes now. What is the daily life that you are living? Just write that down, and we're going to do a little practice with the two columns that you've written. And I promise you, before you decide to just turn this off and think it's a waste of time, this will not be a waste of your time. It will help you to feel good and move forward in your life, and to leave behind all the vestiges of panic, anxiety, overwhelm, sadness, and depression. When you look at the two columns, or if you didn't write it down, when you think of your life as it is and the life you really want to live, do the two have anything in common? And the answer for most of us is no. For the most part, you and I and the people that we love and care about, the people we work with, the people we worship with, the people that we spend our days with, most people are not living the life they truly want to live. And therein, my sweet friend, is where panic, anxiety, and all of the feelings that go along with that are actually based on a spiritual root, an emptiness that we are having because we are not doing with our lives what it is we truly want. Maybe that seems overly simplistic, and above all, your thoughts may be, but I can't. You don't understand. I'm in a situation that I just can't get out of. I want to offer to you, my sweet and precious friend, that I do understand. I have been where you are, and I can promise you that if you begin to live the life that you truly want, those feelings that are so overwhelming, so negative and debilitating will begin to fall away. They have to. It's sheer logic. When you're on this planet to do something, and you know that you are, and your life has a certain meaning and a focus, and you're not embarking upon that journey now, you cannot possibly feel good on an ongoing basis. I want to repeat, and please hear this with your heart and mind, none of this is your fault. None of this is even your doing. There's simply a system that is crumbling all around us, and many of us are continuing to live in that system and ask our children and grandchildren to do the same when it is not working. It isn't working for us, and it will not work for them. There are two considerations for you and I with what I'm sharing. One is, if we're not living out our destiny, we cannot be happy. And two is the responsibility we have to others, whether it is our own children and grandchildren or the people that we know and love. We have a responsibility to live the life we are meant to live and to help others to do so. But instead, if you really reflect upon it, what is the question that most people ask others when they meet them? They ask them, "What do you do?" Meaning, what kind of job do you have? Or if it's someone younger, people ask, "What are you planning on doing?" As in, what type of school they go to and what job will they get. Here's my question for you. Do you truly believe that you're on this planet to get an education, get a job, and pay bills? Do you really think that's what you were created for? When you look around, and I look around, at all the problems the world is having, aren't you and I the answer to those problems? If each one of us was doing what we're truly destined to do, how much of the change the world needs could we bring about? And the fact is, even if it doesn't feel good to think so, the truth is that each one of us has a responsibility and a part in making the world what it is supposed to be. So our depression, anxiety, overwhelm, and sadness comes from not living the life we are here to live. We can't ever feel good, my sweet friend, if we're not each day doing what we know we are here to do. It is simply an impossibility. And we also have the responsibility to those who are younger to help them do what they are on this planet to do. We do not have a responsibility to ask them what school they're going to, what type of job they're going to get, and therefore how they're going to pay the bills. That, my sweet friend, is how we ended up with a world in the mess that it is in. We are the answer, as are our children and grandchildren. And even if you do not have children and do not plan on it, we carry the same responsibility to our community, to our neighbors, to the people that we love and care about, to help them to live the lives that they were created to live. Maybe at this point you think, I already know all of this. Of course, that's why I'm unhappy, and I don't see how I can help my children or grandchildren or community to do anything other than get a job and pay the bills and get more education. But there is a simple way out of it, and each one of us can begin right now. All positive societal change began in the same way. It began with one person and then another person and then the next, beginning to live out the truth that they know they are meant to live. So what does that look like on a practical level for you and for me? I understand if you would say, I can't just quit my job. I don't have another way to pay my bills. And yes, I want to rescue cats and dogs, or yes, I want to help autistic people, or yes, I want to clean up inner city neighborhoods, but I can't just walk away from my responsibilities. That, my sweet friend, is not what I'm asking you to do. What I am asking you to do is write down one truth that you can begin to live out now. And I promise you, there is something you can do, a starting place. The reason I can make that promise is if you have a dream in your heart and a destiny you're being pulled to, and we all have a dream in our heart, even if we don't want to say that we do, that dream is there because it's meant to come true. And yes, you can't get to the end of it right now, but you can get to the beginning. Where does this bring us to on a practical level? We've been talking and sharing ideas for a little while now, and we've concluded that the system isn't working, it's crumbling around us. We really don't want to promote that system to continue on with our children, grandchildren, or people that we just simply love and care about and know. But we feel stuck in our own lives, so how can we possibly offer a way for others to not be stuck in their lives and in their futures? And this is how. Today, as I mentioned a moment ago, write down one place you can start. Maybe you'll think it's insignificant. It will never truly lead you to your destiny, and there's not possibly a way out of the debt or the situation that you're in. But there is. There is always hope. There is. I have walked in many dark places myself, meaning where I felt that I couldn't find a way out. But it is miraculous that when you just keep trying, find a starting point, that others will come to your aid, that new ideas will open up in your thoughts and prayers, that resources will appear. But none of that happens if we don't begin. And maybe that sounds like an old saying and very far-fetched, but it really isn't. Do you think that great leaders such as Martin Luther King or Gandhi, or even rock stars that have had a huge impact like Jimi Hendrix or John Lennon, do you think that these people at the beginning of their journey thought they could really change the world? They had the hope in their heart and they had a belief in their mind and spirit, but they surely didn't know how to get from where they were to where they know they were meant to be. And you, my sweet friend, have that same amazing, miraculous spirit within yourself. So today, my challenge to you is write down one thing that you will begin to do and become diligent about it. Whatever it is, whether it's volunteering somewhere, beginning to gather canned food for the animals that you want to rescue, setting up your art at a local farmer's market, selling things you don't need on eBay or Poshmark so that you can garner some extra money for your dreams. You just have to begin. The way we change the system, the way we change our lives, and the way we build a completely different world for all the people that are yet to be born and live out their lives. The only way that can be done is if each one of us takes the responsibility upon ourselves to begin to change our own lives. And that starts with the most simplistic steps. Being diligent every day, every week, every month for the rest of this year, that whatever you commit to doing, whether it's gathering those cans of food to take to the local animal shelter, or beginning to feed the cats and dogs in your neighborhood that don't have a home, whether it's starting to pick up trash with some of your friends over the weekend in your inner city neighborhood. Whatever your starting point is, that's all that matters. If you will, my sweet friend, be brave enough to begin, there will be a path out of where you are to where you are meant to be. And along with that, you will meet many other kindred spirits who are on the same journey, and together we can change this world. I know it may seem too far off, and you think, really, that I just have no idea of the suffering you are going through. My sweet friend, I know how you feel, and I've felt the same many times in my own life. What I do know is that there is always hope, no matter how hopeless and dark a situation seems, and that as long as we will take steps moving toward what it is we truly want, life will meet us. Maybe you've been let down so many times by life and just think you don't have the strength to once again have hope. Then begin your journey without hope, just with action. Just take those actions day by day, those micro steps, and you will have your art doing well. You will have your poems published. You will clean up your neighborhood. You will create murals throughout the United States and the world. You will help the young children to be able to follow their own hearts. You will be able to bring comfort to the elderly. Whatever it is you know you are here to do, I promise you, you can do that when you just begin. And in that, the panic, anxiety, depression, and sadness must dissipate. They must begin to disintegrate because they will be replaced with hope, with action, with movement toward your true destiny and your heart being fulfilled. Remember who you truly are. You are a child of the Most High God, and the world needs you. If Swanky Genius encouragements helped your heart, we'd be ever so grateful if you liked, commented, subscribed, shared our podcast, and check out our book, journal, and coloring book series featuring Lamp the cat and Swanky Genius the bird, who are whimsical best pals at swankygenius.com.